how do you know what truth is? Well, that is probably going to be defined by your worldview. Now, if you're a Christian, you understand that the only truth there really is God's truth. And He gives us the baseline of truth through the Bible, which is why we turn to the Bible to understand truth. And we know that all things were created by Him and for Him. Therefore, nothing else can have that kind of influence, because nothing else created us. Nothing else can decide what truth is except for our Creator. Now, there is such a thing as perceptions, which are what we believe is true in our perception. So if I think that somebody is attractive, and yet somebody else can look at the same person and think they're unattractive, that is true for me, and that is true for them. But what is the ultimate truth? The ultimate truth is what God says that person is. And as a Christian, I want to make sure that my perception lines up with what God says. And it's okay to have perceptions, but we always need to be working toward understanding and knowing God's truth and aligning our perceptions with His truth. In the world, there's such a thing as people believing that they're a different gender than what God created them to be. And that can be their perception of themselves. They might believe somewhere deep down inside that they were meant to be something else. They might feel like something else. But that is a perception. And if it is not in line with what God says in the Word about who He created each gender to be, how unique they are, and how we are fearfully and wonderfully made in our mother's womb with purpose, then we need to reject false perceptions. And we need to lovingly redirect people to the ultimate truth, because the ultimate truth is what sets people free. We don't want to live in bondage. We don't want to be confused all the time, because that's where the enemy wants to play his game the hardest. He wants to bring confusion, and he wants us to feel trapped and misunderstood. But when we understand God's truth, we break free of those chains, and we stand on what we know is right, what is true, what is good, and what God intended for us and for others. So today, let's choose to align our perspectives and our perceptions with the Word of God. Turn to the Word, pray to God, ask for understanding, and He will show you truth.